Hey, silly. So let me guess. You're at a crossroads in life, huh? Maybe you've got a big decision coming up. Should I take the new job offer? Should I finally quit my 9 to 5 and follow my dream? Maybe it's the relationship stuff. Or even something as simple as, should I have pizza tonight? Or maybe try that weird sushi place? I get it. The weight of choices can be heavy. It's like every decision you make sends ripples through your life. Before we jump in, I'm curious. Where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments. And while you're at it, tell me, what's the biggest decision you've ever made or struggled with? I can't wait to hear your stories. It might even inspire someone else watching this. You've probably heard people say that every choice has consequences, right? What if I told you that every choice you make is the right one? Stick with me for a minute. You might be thinking, how can that be true? How can all choices be right? That doesn't even make sense. That's exactly where the genius of Søren Kierkegaard, a 19th century philosopher, comes in. And before you roll your eyes and think, oh no, not another dead philosopher, hear me out. Kierkegaard was all about the complexity of choice and the very essence of what it means to live authentically. He didn't believe in the right or wrong choices in the way we usually think. To him, every choice is the right choice. Because each choice is yours to make, and it's in that very act of choosing that you find meaning in life. Let's break this down. Kierkegaard was obsessed with the idea of the leap of faith. This wasn't some mystical leap like jumping off a cliff into the unknown, although it may feel like that when you're making big life decisions. No, it was more like stepping into the unknown with a kind of trust. Trust in yourself, and even trust in the choices that scare the living daylights out of you. Kierkegaard argued that real life doesn't happen in the safe, predictable choices. Real life happens in the mess, in the uncertainty, in the leap. He was saying, don't worry so much about whether you're choosing right or wrong. Just choose. Move forward. Because not choosing, that's the real danger. But what does it mean to choose? What does it mean to take that step and trust yourself? Well, Kierkegaard talks about this idea called despair. Now, despair might sound heavy, kind of like that feeling you get when you're watching the news, or when you've just eaten an entire pizza by yourself and are wondering if you should have made a better choice. But despair, to Kierkegaard, isn't just about feeling sad. It's about the weight of having endless possibilities and yet being paralyzed by them. It's that sense of not knowing what to do because there are so many options. Imagine standing in front of a giant buffet with everything from pizza to sushi to a weird unidentifiable dish and being totally overwhelmed. You stand there, trying to pick the right food, but you just freeze, paralyzed by all the choices. This is Kierkegaard's despair. It's not that you want one thing more than the other, it's that you don't want to make the wrong choice at all. But here's where things get interesting. Kierkegaard says that despair happens because we try to approach life like it's a logic puzzle. We think if we just pick the right option, everything will fall into place and we'll be happy. But that's not how life works. Life doesn't fit neatly into logic. Life is messy, uncertain, and full of possibilities that we'll never fully understand. And yet, in that messiness, in that uncertainty, there's freedom. Freedom? Yep, Kierkegaard saw freedom in that chaos. He believed that true freedom comes from accepting that we can never know if our choices are right. But that's also what makes us human. The fact that we get to choose at all is what gives us meaning. You might think, okay, cool, but how does this help me choose between that new job or sticking with the one I have now? Well, here's the thing. Once you accept that there's no perfect choice, just a leap you have to take, you stop seeing every decision as a life or death situation. The fear of making the wrong choice fades. The more you let go of that need to get it right, the more you can start enjoying the process of choosing. This is exactly what Kierkegaard meant by existential freedom. When you embrace the uncertainty, you stop living in fear of failure. You realize that even your so-called wrong choices teach you something valuable. Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe it's a new direction. Or maybe it's the courage to choose again. So, what's the takeaway here, Steve? Life isn't about making perfect choices. It's about making your choices. It's about embracing the fact that no matter what you pick, You're the one steering the ship. Sure, sometimes you might hit an iceberg, but even then, you'll learn to navigate better next time. Kierkegaard taught us that the meaning of life isn't handed to you. It's created by the choices you make and the leaps you take. And you can only move forward by choosing, by trusting, and by letting go of the need to always get it right. So, the next time you're standing at that buffet of life, staring at the sushi, the pizza, or that weird unidentifiable dish, don't freeze. Pick something. Trust yourself. And know that whatever you choose, you're building your story one bite, one leap at a time. Now, here's a question for you. What leap are you thinking about taking right now? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear all about it. Remember, life happens in the leap. So what are you waiting for?